That one.
Right, on Mr. Williams that Mustafa's on leave. I want to say 9, but I know it's not 9 on yours, so.
Is it one ending in 7490?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Well, now, I just printed out the calendar, so I don't know if they're all adjusted or if they're all the same.
Oh, boy. Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Right. Let's see. All right, let's see. Because isn't it the one that Mr. Law was assigned to ending in 7490, number 9?
Correct.
Yeah, and I wrote that earlier, yeah.
Yep. He also has,
Yeah, Mustafa's on leave, right?
yep, Mustafa's on leave. And I think he has position 1 and 6 on the,
So I know position 1, oh, is that Mustafa also?
no.
Oh, I know Mr. Olive is going to cover for Mr. Lyle.
Okay.
And then, let's see, yeah, 6. What about Miss Rondon is in another courtroom, but she's going to come here. Let's see. Oh, did we get, we got a date. Did we get a date for that? Oh, we got June 13th, right? June 13th, Miss Watts on position 9 ending in 7490. Wait, no, it is June 13th. That's tomorrow. It's gonna- Oh, he's getting back tomorrow.
Getting back.
What are we resetting that to, Ms. Watts?
Judge, you said he will be back tomorrow?
Mustafa's on leave. Yeah, I think he comes, I don't know if it goes through, he'll be back. So maybe a week, you think?
I think so, Judge.
Or it could be 2.
So, okay, we can add him to June 20th, which is next Tuesday.
Mr. Olive, on Cassius Williams, are you doing all 3 of those or just? It was Mr. Lyles.
Right.
So Detective Mustafa's on leave. So we're going to reset it. Is June 20th good? That's just one of his. He has 3 cases. It's just one of them. It's just one of Mr. Williams' cases. Cassius Williams, he has 3 positions. Yeah. Unless you wanted them all well, we got an officer here, I think, on one. Yeah, can that be on the afternoon, Embryo?
Yes, Judge, you can.
All right, June 20th at 1 p.m. So you're taking all of Williams, right? And you got Hector Diaz.
Yes.
And let's see, I think that might be.
Yeah. Did you guys bring him?
Actually, I believe,
You guys bring Diaz?
And, Ms. Rondon will take.
Okay, so we don't have one for Diaz, Hector Diaz. We don't have lawyers. We need a C3. Oh, yeah, because I had Mr. Lyles involved, another motion withdrawal because he was leaving. All right, so, but we do have the detective here for Destiny Ingram, right? She's not a co-defendant. Now we're cooking with game. She's yours. All
Now we're
right,
cooking.
you want to start with that one until, because we got to wait on this, well, we got Shida, Ms. Clark, Ms. Roberts is on Zoom. Oh, sorry. And Ms. Rondon, so as soon as she gets here, we can do yours.
Who's Ms. Rondon on board?
Ms. Rondon has Jeremiah.
Howard, can I give you the rundown?
Sure.
On everybody, so actually positions 1 through 6 are all co-defendants.
Right,
Even though 6 has a different CP number than everyone else.
right.
I'm, for the ones that I can, I want to consent to bond, getting rid of the gang charges, not a gang case.
On all of them, you're getting rid of the gang charges?
All, there was 1 admitted member.
Uh-huh.
It's not in furtherance of, when you get into their phones,
Right,
they're all speakers
okay.
on missions to get their dope, is what it boils down.
Well, that's
to.
kind of dangerous.
I know,
I mean, not, be just to like act like you're a gang member.
right, but and what they're doing is check washing, financial transactions, fraud, and even, this investigation starting over a year ago, so we can discover more victims, but I don't think we should continue to hold them.
Okay.
Consent to condition, take a monitor for the ones that can be released.
Mhm.
and then release the whole, whole of the county and some of the others. It's all
Right.
separate crimes, but I don't want to indict out and leave that between bar and box out. White
Right.
collar has been brought into it.
Can you spin that microphone closer? I guess everybody says y'all can't, they can't hear. Now, can you hear him? Say something.
Can
you hear me?
speak?
Is
Yes.
that better? Okay, so we got, Miss, so have you spoken with, all right, so we got, so Hector Diaz, number one, needs a C3 attorney.
Okay.
So I guess we're not even gonna go for it. We can bring him out and tell, is he up here? Hector Diaz, we'll just bring him out real quick and tell him y'all can send him back downstairs. Are you gonna dismiss any of his charges?
Gang charges.
All, both, one, two, three?
Yes, all the gang charges.
All right, 1, 2, 3 on him. We'll just tell him real quick and then. Let's see. Oh, I was looking at this, I was like, that must be my bond order. So I was like, whoa, yeah. All right, let's see. Well, it went down from 1 million to 250,000. Yeah, that's good.
Sure they will.
Right. Are you gonna file the dismissal on those? Or do you want,
No, I will.
oh, okay,
Even, it's been crazy, even when judges have filed their dismissals, they're still not,
yeah,
and I'm having to go do, I don't get it. It's a disconnect there. So even if you filed it, I would still have to do everything.
do you need an interpreter?
No.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is 22 CP 208589, 285 days without indictment. Hector Diaz, he got financial transaction card theft, identity theft when using or posing identifying info concerning a person, and unlawful for a person employed by, associated with criminal street gang to participate or and conduct and participate in criminal street gang activity, unlawful for a person to acquire, maintain through criminal gang activity or proceeds derived from, unlawful for a person to commit offense with intent to obtain, earn membership, maintain, increase status. And the state has said,
Yes, Your Honor, we were going to be dismissing all the gang charges.
so then you'll just have the first two counts. So that will make your bond go down from 1 million to 250,000. Okay? Now they have to, you had Mr. Lyle, they're gonna have to assign what's called a C3 attorney, which basically you have conflict attorney, or you have public defender, conflict, if they can't handle both cases. Then there's a conflict for the conflict. So it's C3. I guess it could go on to C4, 5, 6, and 7. So they'll email, Ms. Watts, will you email Ms. Walker just to remind her about that case, maybe? And then Ms. Walker that handles the C3, yeah. Ms. Walker, so we'll get you back on a calendar. Let's see, maybe set it out 3 weeks, Ms. Watts. What's the date?
3 weeks from today, we'll put it at July 3rd,
At what time?
1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. So you still have your bond, you'll still have your prelim, but we'll let Ms. Walker know by then. So hopefully they would have gotten the C3 attorney to assign to you. Okay, sir?
Yes, the bond you said it was how much?
So well, it's going down from 1 million to 250,000.
250,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But when you come back in July, we'll address it then also, okay? And you should get a new attorney soon.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Stay safe.
Thank
All right, now we've got, all right, you had a chance to talk to Ms. Clark about hers? Or do you just want to do the bond hearing?
I was just speaking.
Because her
with
guy
Ms.
has
Clark.
2 positions, yeah.
Yes, there are 2 positions, and it involves the same stop.
You're dismissing the gang charges on him too, right?
Yes.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah.
She's like,
No. And I would, but the problem, I'd like to release him to his holds. He has a bunch of the holds. And if that's not feasible and he would rather have a probable cause hearing, then I would ask for a continuance because the stopping officer who found the drugs, who had all the drugs, is on leave, even though we subpoenaed him. He's with the drug task force. We have the
So
officer.
he has both cases, right?
Well, no, I have the officer here who had the.
No, I mean, you want to release him on the whole one. He's got like trafficking meth, he's got trafficking heroin, he's position 3 and 5.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
you want to do those. I don't think I can UJR some of these.
No, they can't. And so that's what we run into. And
Trying to
so,
come in with a number.
and so if we can't get to a number, then I think we might just have to have a
Bond,
hearing. And I would ask for a continuance on the PC hearing until I can get, until Officer, I can't pronounce his name, but the drug officer, how do you pronounce it? Rennell's.
gets here. So I've got, so on position 3, that would make him have a $6,000 good bond with the other 2. And then on 5, though, he's at no bond status. Wait a minute, make sure. Wait, no, he's not. I'm sorry, 224,000. Wow, that's got my name written all over it.
Yeah. I think you said a bond back in September.
Oh, this one, I think this was March 27th.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one, like I said, just since you dismissed the gang charges, that went down to 6,000. This other one's 224,000. Let me see. Do you want to hear his criminal history, or y'all think y'all can get close? What do you want
Well, if he dismisses those charges, look at the bond.
to? Well, that on the, so that's the thing on the gang charges, those weren't even that much. 3, it went down to 6,000.
The other case doesn't have gang charges.
Yeah, the other case doesn't have gang charges at 224. That's the possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, possession of firearm during the commission of felony, financial transaction, card fraud, possession of a firearm by first offender probationer, trafficking meth, possession of MDMA with intent, possession of marijuana with intent, trafficking heroin, driving improper erratic lane change, failure to signal lane change, false name, and unlawful display or use false fraudulent altered ID.
Well, it's all interrelated to the financial crimes.
Right.
So on he has it, let's see, where's the bond? On March 27th on position 5. Let's see, the cocaine with intent 75.
I mean, I would,
And let's see, you have the charges. I got 75,000, 15,000, 15,000, 75,000, 15,000, 15,000, 5,000, 5,000, and then 9 through 12 are 1,000 apiece.
I don't think we're looking at the same thing. Or maybe my calendar just got cut off.
Here you go. You want to look at mine? Yeah. Ms. Clark, y'all come over here. Y'all come look at mine if y'all want to say. So,
Yeah.
did you write down the numbers or do you want to see them? They're right here. You see them, Ms. Clark? So it's 75, 15, 15, 75, 15, 15, 75, 15, 15, 5, 5, and then the last 4 are all 1,000 apiece. Because it's mostly the trafficking heroin and trafficking and other positions of cocaine with intent, they're the 75 apiece. The other ones are 15 and 5 and 1. Those. Let me open, you have any more? Bostic, where do we have holds on the Danovan Sorto Castellanos?
Just a second.
Make sure they're also on their Cobb, Gwinnett, and DeKalb. Because we see Cobb, DeKalb, and Gwinnett.
Cab, Gwinnett, Cobb.
Do you see one out of DeKalb?
Cab, Gwinnett, and Cobb.
Maybe the one out of DeKalb. Gone. Gwinnett, yeah. What, do you know what they're for, Bostic?
Give me just a second. That doesn't say anything. Go back to, sort of. Hold on just a second. It doesn't say.
Okay.
Oh, there they go. In the cab is for fraud. In Lawrenceville, it's for probation violation.
Yeah.
And that's the only two that's on this GCIC that tells me what they're for.
Okay, let's see.
The Cobb one is not telling me.
I hate when they do the tickets. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So that's dropping. Sometimes it's in here. Oh, 56 grams of meds, 24 grams of MDMA. Yeah.
It's all,
Yeah. 8 grams of heroin. Blah, 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 blah. There
I would just leave it at reading for the
If he wants to waive or how he wants to handle it. But $1,000 on each count for the case number 5 and position number 5. One that has 295.
Then the other one went down to 6,000 anyway. Oh, let's see, on this one, 10. Then you got the, yeah. Another date.
Well.
Yeah. That would be.
How far out do you want it reset? Is that one? Oh, yeah, how far out?
right next day to give you back it down. Let me find out.
What's that? What's a holiday? I don't feel like it. Well, you know, if not, I'm prepping for nighttime. What you on there? Are you on there tonight? Oh, you go, yeah, I did see you go, right? Yeah, it's, you know, sometimes you have to look. I'll see you on there tonight. We got it down to a, it was rough starting off, but now we got it down to a science. Yeah, because it's after hours and I ain't going to jail. Right.
Mr. Council.
Got one case on it, I Judge. You want to take it first?
Oh,
I'm not gonna complain.
so we got, so Ms. Roberts is on here. Ms. Roberts, you wanna, Ms. Roberts has, where's her? Ashley Johnson. She's on Zoom. Maybe, Ms. Roberts, you have your phone with you, or, Ms. Roberts, you wanna put your phone number in the chat and
Sure.
And I'll call her.
and he can call you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Here you go. I don't know if you can read it. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, he's calling you now. So there's trafficking, possession, so you know the charter, I'm sure. So,
Yes, I do have it.
and let's see what y'all have right now as a bond. Oh, he's right now. There's a $295,000 good bond. Man, that judge was grumpy. And that was as of October. Man, I haven't seen him since October.
Yeah, yes, sorry.
I filed a bond motion a few months ago, but this is the first year
Yeah.
Oh.
she's been in for a year.
Oh, he's calling you now. I'll put you on, I'll put you on mute so that way we. Ms. Rhonda, you better go out there. He's working some deals. And by the way, Ms. Rhonda, yours is for Hector.
No, I'm here.
I mean, no, you're here for,
Jeremiah Sirwan.
yeah, going out there with him because he's like dismissing gang charges and all kinds of stuff. Mr. Olaf, you don't have any of the ones that are defendants in the gang charges? We'll give y'all just a second, I promise. And then we're. Oh, yeah, we got Hector. Right. So, and Bria's gonna email Ms. Walker to hopefully remind her because we reset it for July 3rd. I don't know, it's taking so long. Yours is Jeremiah, so yeah, if you want to go out there, and then, once we do that, we can take, we can get Destiny since. Yeah. Did you decide you are taking all of the Cassius Williams or not? Yeah. Reluctantly, but you're thinking, right,
We're still trying to figure out,
right.
but swing it her.
You guys can't handle 500 cases?
About 6, yeah.
Wait, Mr. Olaf didn't tell you got a job? Oh, I'm sorry. He had a job offer, but I think he's turning it down just because he's not gonna leave you. by yourself.
I will be gone.
I was about to say, he's about to leave me.
Are you really? Are you going on vacation or just?
Well, no, I'm licensed out of state, so I got to take it for the bar.
Oh, okay.
So he's studying.
Why you need a month?
I don't know. The paranoid, I guess.
So for a month, it'll just be me.
Oh, wow. Is it in July?
Yeah.
So why don't you let us know, email like Ambria and Travoria and let us know. I mean, look at the calendar's already out and let us know. Seriously, if you need a break or something, tell us and we can resettle.
One thing I'm trying to do often here.
Yeah.
First appearance, and
But let us.
All of his cases I'll be appearing on, and then shortly, all of Attorney Smith and Attorney Lyle's cases, we will file substitution of counsel and be appearing on those as well.
But when you see the calendars, if you're like, hey, it's too much, just, I mean, emails, I get it. I mean, I totally get it. It's okay.
right now, July.
But you've already passed one bar, so what,
I know.
I mean, they're just, you can't, I'll never take another bar unless I can waive in here. If I can't waive in,
I was gonna move, but family stuff.
Then you gotta take the,
I threatened him, he can't move.
yeah.
Now I can't, move, yeah.
You have to take the ethics test again too?
Yeah, I gotta take it off. Which I record that way because I'm relying on the bulletin board,
Yeah.
kind of carrying the problem, so that
What state are you taking it in?
Missouri.
Is that where you're from?
I took the from Orca.
Is that where you're from, Missouri?
No, I'm not from Missouri. This is, I did balance all these different factors. You get your results in 7 weeks. There's a bunch of different factors that I weigh and go in there. So I went to Missouri to take it. But unfortunately, Georgia's not a unique state where I can transfer back.
You can wave into Vermont. You can wave into Vermont.
Yeah,
I think you can wave into Tennessee. It's waving into South Carolina.
that's not Carolina.
No, that's it.
That's actually where I was.
Yeah, those are two. but- What'd your client say?
He's fine with, waiving for the case that has to deal. with
Financial?
Financial identity fraud and so forth, so he's fine with that, a $6,000 bond.
On that other case, right?
On the second case,
Right.
it would end up with a 10,000, because it's 10 counts at 1,000. He's fine with, that, of course. He would like for me to continue the hearing.
Yeah, for another date.
Yes.
And he's out there talking. Oh, he's on the phone with, yeah. So hold on, maybe you won't have to be here at all. Right. Ms. Watts, did you get Shida on the phone for position 2? Ambria.
No, I did not, but I can reach out now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought, yeah, see if, where they are.
Okay.
I haven't figured out how to close myself down. I need to.
Yeah, I think he's on the phone with Miss Johnson. I mean, Miss Roberts, so.
Just gotta get my computer fixed. I started looking at some, song or on the watching some. Mortgages.
If you guys are gonna cover for Miss Smith, then tonight is pretty much all, it's both of you. It's almost the entire calendar.
I will be your calendar tonight.
Right.
And Miss Ashley will be back. She's gonna handle several of the cases.
Oh, okay. Which one are you gonna hear? You gonna hear them tonight?
Yes.
Nobody wants to be there all night, right?
Don't worry, we'll move you through the calendar.
Right, we're just like, come on. It was rough when we first started Christmas. People were like, wanted to talk a lot. You finish at 10 o'clock at night, you're going, seriously? Oh,
Get up the next day, do it again.
right, right. I was getting a little pushback. Oh, see, you know what? They said he filed a waiver, but it's, some things aren't getting in there. Maybe we need to call, so Ms. Watts, he said he filed a waiver?
Yes, he said he sent it to the jail email address, but I don't think that he can send it to that one for it to get e-filed properly.
Right, I don't,
So I am sending him the Zoom link right now, so he can come on and make that announcement for himself.
yeah, I don't see it. Well, maybe he wants to talk to, DA since the DA's letting go of some,
Yeah, that too.
right, yeah, he's. How'd it go, Ms. Roberts?
Good, John, very good.
Do you, I mean, I can't really put him in a breakout room. Do you want us to bring your client out here?
Yes, yeah,
So
that
you
would,
just represent her on one case, right?
that's correct. I think there was a mix up with her birthday, and so she got assigned a second attorney for the second case. I just found out about that case when the calendar came out. So there's another, Shada is assigned to that case.
Right. All right, so, oh, I guess he's still, now is he talking to Miss Rondon out there? What did y'all work out?
$1,000 on each count on my case on that, on position 4.
Okay,
And then they're dropping the gang, the gang charges are being dropped on position 2. I don't know exactly what that leaves the bond at because I don't have that bond sheet.
yeah, there he is. Mr. Ben Shida, which I probably pronounced.
Shida, okay, Ben Shida, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I know I pronounced it so wrong.
It's cool,
It's cool. It's been Sheeta.
Ben Shida, okay.
That's not how we say it in Southern, but I try, right?
Right,
You know I tried. So you said and I don't doubt it. I don't know why stuff's not getting here. I know you said you filed a waiver, but the ADA in here is like dropping gang charges left and right. So I figured maybe you wanted to talk to him. Right?
Yeah.
Now I can call you Shida, right?
It's your honor.
Now I can pronounce it. So he's outside talking to Ms. Rhonda, but right now your client has $25,500 good bond. Let's see. So if he drops the 3 gang charges, then it would go down to 10.5.
Okay.
On that bond. So if you want to stand by when he gets in here,
Okay, that works.
okay. And then, but you did, I don't know, maybe you should email it or file it again you still want to waive though, right?
Yes, Your Honor. I can file it again as I know there's an email they said send all your motions and everything too. And normally they're pretty good at sending me back a copy. But I did file a waiver on this matter.
Which one are they supposed to send it to, Ms. Watts? Is it the jail or is it COS what?
Yeah, that's it. COS.co, I believe.
The COSMC? Let me see.
Miss Miller, is it the jail email or is it the NPH or is it the motions? It's like 3 emails they have.
Yes, it is. A lot of times they send it to the COSMC and they may copy the
Jail.
jail email as well.
Which one are they supposed to send it to? COSMC?
COSMC, that's correct.
Yeah, so it's COSMC@FultonCountyGA.gov. I guess we could hear one of the other ones while y'all are still working. Well, you're on the. All right. Sorry, do you want to put your phone number in the chat and I'll give it to the DA and he can call you just like he did, Ms. Roberts?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Most definitely.
All right.
Appreciate it.
You may want to thank Ms. Roberts and Ms. Clark. I think they beat him up and wore him down, so I'm just doing.
I appreciate it. Perfect. I put it in the chat, Your Honor.
Okay. You want to run this out to him and tell him, call him too? And then we'll go ahead and take, Mr. All, if you want, we'll take the, we'll go ahead. That's the phone number. Yeah, he can call him. Okay, and then why don't we go ahead and bring out Destiny Nicole Ingram? That way we can at least keep stuff moving. Right. And whoever's here from Miss Ingram. Boom, come on up. Hey, Miss Miller, all these bond conditions, once he puts them on there, it's a consent. We know we'll be, they'll have me first on 5, only on 2, live at 11.
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right. So we're going to bring out Destiny Nicole while they're talking, handling those other ones. It'll be position 7. If you raise your right hand, you swear affirm testimony you're about to give is truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you state your name, spell it for the court reporter.
My name is Oscar Javante Dorsey, JARVANTADORSEY.
All right. Let's see. We'll wait on Miss Ingram to get out here. All right, we got position 7, at least on mine. It's 23 CP 217404. Destiny Nicole Ingram, 71 days without indictment. Got criminal damage to property times 3 in the 2nd degree and 1 count of battery. Go ahead. What says the state?
Thank you, Judge. Officer Dorsey, could you tell us where you're employed, please?
I'm employed with Atlanta Police Department in the city of Atlanta.
Okay, how long have you worked there?
Almost a year now.
Are you post-certified?
Yes, sir.
And were you on patrol or on duty on April the 2nd of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you happen to remember what happened with this particular defendant?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Could you describe that for the court, please?
So I just clocked in on shift. We just received a call that someone's over there damaging people's vehicles. So the earlier shift went out there and helped me assist while I get my car and get loaded up so I can be able to go out there. I went out there and I spoke to Mr. Amos Porter. He stated that he was waiting on a truck to turn into a parking lot, and some random female came out, struck his car multiple times, damaging his left side and his rear side window.
And did the victim in that case tell you what the car was struck with?
Yes, he did tell me that this car was struck with a metal pipe.
And then what happened?
And then he told me that he tried to defend himself. He put out his left hand and tried to defend his vehicle. And then he stated that the suspect swung, struck, and made lacerations to his left hand.
Okay. And how did you finally end up locating the suspect?
So the watch that came before me, they was already out on the crime scene. They went down to another vandalism calls, where 2 males stated that a female came to their vehicle and they heard banging. They went outside and they saw the suspect. So the previous shift went down there and already detained the suspect by the time I arrived.
Okay. And did you have an opportunity to find out what happened with the other 2 victims in this case?
The earlier watch told me that they saw camera footage of the suspect coming down to the other section of the parking lot and start hitting their vehicles with a metal pipe.
Okay, and were those the same vehicles or 2 different vehicles?
It was 2 different vehicles, so it's 3 vehicles in total.
And so the 3 vehicles in total, can you tell us how much the damage actually cost?
So based on a rough estimate, the first vehicle, Mr. Porter, he has two windows broken. One which the back rear window, which is already expensive to get because you got to get the whole window taken out then replaced. And the same thing with his driver's side window. You got to take the vehicle out and put a new window in. So they're both each a good amount. And then Mr. Kelvin Naughton, one of the victims, his vehicle was damaged all around. So not only he probably had to fix the window, but probably had to take the dent out the vehicle, take the dents out the vehicle too. And then Mr. Guy, he said that his gas cap section was broken in his front bumper. So I say probably the total price is probably over a few $1,000s.
Okay, can you tell the court, because you've got 3 different vehicles, did you get estimates from each one of those, or is that just in your training experience?
That's based off my training experience, because I personally had my window broken into, had my vehicle broken into, and it cost $200 minimum just to try to get it replaced.
And have you spoken subsequently with any of the victims?
I have not since that day of incident.
Okay. And so just so I understand, how many windows were broken in total?
So it's 1 front, 1 rear, so that's 2. And then 6 windows total out of 3 vehicles.
6 windows total?
Yes, sir.
Wow. And you said one of the other cars had damage to the body itself?
Yes, one had damage to the body.
And the other one had damage to the gas cap as well?
Yes, the gas cap in the front bumper.
When you say damage, could you describe the damage for the court, please?
So it had multiple dents, like someone had been swinging at it, and multiple scratches also on the vehicle.
Was the weapon secured?
We were not able to locate that weapon.
When you arrested Miss Ingram, do you see her in the courtroom today?
I do, sir.
Okay, could you point her out to the court, please?
She's sitting over there in the blue Fulton County Fulton County jumpsuit. I'm sorry.
I have nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Arlen?
Good afternoon, officer. My name is Brian Opp. I represent Ms. Ingram here. Now you're saying, sorry, there's a lot going on there. What type of vehicles were attacked and what damage was done to each vehicle, if you don't mind specifying?
So there was 3 vehicles in total. 3 of them were silver. I know one of them was a Toyota Corolla. I spoke with Mr. Amos Porter. Mr. Amos Porter damage had his whole left side, driver's side window broken, and his back rear broken into.
And what year?
I believe it was a 2015. I'm not too sure about his year on his vehicle.
Okay. And then what else?
Oh, and then the other 2 vehicles, I did not get a chance to look at the make and the model of the other 2 vehicles. But my other officers did just tell me the damage about one with the gas cap in the front bumper and the other one damage all around.
Okay. And each of those victims testified that Miss Ingram is the person who did this?
Yes, sir.
And they actually witnessed her doing it?
Yes, sir. They actually had camera footage of suspect doing it.
Okay. And during the investigation, were the body cams worn when the vehicles were being inspected that you know of?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And has all the video been preserved?
Yes, sir.
All right, no further questions.
Anything else from the state?
Just real quick, Judge. Just bear with me here, Officer Dorsey. Did you have an opportunity to interview Miss Ingram?
I was not able to because she was hysterical and acting out of character.
Okay. So was there any doubt in your mind that she's the person who did this?
It was no doubt in my mind based off the testimony that my other officers gave to me, and then Mr. Amos Porter, one of the victims that I spoke to.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, anything else?
That's all your Judge.
All right, that's it. Stay safe. Appreciate it. Go ahead with the argument.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to point out that the only vehicle that was identified more specifically was a 2015 Toyota Corolla. And There was a couple windows broken out of that. The witness was unable to identify the other vehicles, exactly what damage was done to those. So the cost of that damage is speculative. And finally, I don't recall the state ever establishing that this was in Fulton County or that the officer was post-certified. So with that on board, we would ask for the court to dismiss all charges. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Judge. It's clear that Officer Dorsey does work for Fulton County. And it is clear that this happened in Fulton County since he's with the Atlanta Police Department. I believe that under the statute for criminal damage to property, Judge, the only requirement is that the person recklessly or intentionally by means of fire, explosive, damages the property of another person or recklessly damages the property of another person without their consent. The amount of the damage, of course, is what I believe enough to justify, as Officer Dorsey testified, the amount exceeding $500. That's just for, I would ask the court to take judicial notice of a broken windshield and how much that costs, and nothing further.
Well, I mean, you can't take judicial notice of an element of the crime, though.
All right. Well, I do have to dismiss it because you didn't establish that it was in Fulton County or that he was a police officer. Best of luck to you, ma'am. Ma'am, just so you know, they can indict on these charges. So right now, they may be dismissed, but they could take them to the grand jury. You could be walking out the door and they could have a grand jury warrant and turn around and walk you right back inside. Best of luck to you, ma'am.
You understand?
Okay.
All right. Did you get to talk with everybody? All right. So let's see. What do we got? So do we need to bring out Mr. Sorto Castellanos first, or we'll start with that? You need to talk to your person? Okay, they could probably bring him out and let you talk to him right at the same time.
Okay.
My home phone number is 404-287-8622. His name Larry Williams.
Okay, I'll let them know you're getting released, okay? All right, have a good day. Take care.
Sorto Castellanos, Donovan Sorto Castellano.
That's gonna have a hearing.
Castellano.
Yeah,
They call him Sorto, I think it's short.
yeah, they may call it Sorto.
Yes. Okay. See, I'm gonna show you. It's Donovan Sorto Castellanos. That's the way I pronounce it, but that may not be technically. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a little better at it. But I don't know if the T is silent or Castellanos, and but it's different. I don't think it's necessarily the way we. Donovan. Ocho Castellanos.
You wrote it pretty good.
Sound like I about got it, huh? Yeah. Sorry, Ocho Castellanos. We'll check.
How long have you been at the office? Where'd you come from? Never did preliminaries. Just write venue ID and host on top of my, because I've done it multiple times. If I don't, there it goes. I can wing my host a little bit. I can shoot from that.
All right, this is 22 CP 208589, 377 days without indictment, financial transaction guard fraud, identity theft or fraud when using, possessing, identifying info concerning another person, unlawful for a person employed by or associated with criminal street gang to conduct or participate in criminal street gang activity, unlawful for a person to acquire, maintain through criminal street gang activity proceeds derived from, and unlawful for a person to commit offense with the intent to aim, obtain, or maintain membership or increase status in the gang. Also, we've got, hold on, position 5, which is 22 CP 209534, 377 days without indictment. Possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, possession of firearm during the commission of a felony, financial transaction card theft, possession of firearm by a first offender probationer, trafficking in methamphetamine, possession of MDMA with intent to distribute, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, trafficking heroin, improper erratic lane change, failure to signal lane change or turn, giving false name, address, date of birth to law enforcement officer, and unlawful possess, display, or use false, fraudulent, or altered ID. What says the state?
Yes, Your Honor. After speaking with the defense attorney as to position 3, the state is going to dismiss all of the gang charges. And it is my understanding that just as to position 3, that defense would waive the preliminary hearing. That officer is present today. And then as to position 5, the state has agreed to reduce the bond on each count to $1,000 on each count. And the defense would still like to have a hearing. However, that officer is on leave, and so we would just need a reset date. I would confirm that the stopping officer is going to be back tomorrow. He'll be back from his vacation tomorrow.
Okay, let's see. So what date are we going to give position 5, Ms. Watts and Ms. Clark? Is there any date you can't do it, or?
Your Honor, at this point, I'm open. I don't have a leave schedule in July, so.
Okay.
Every day, the court.
Ms. Watts, what can we, y'all need a week? You need 2 weeks? What do you need to get him subpoenaed?
Oh, a week would be fine.
Okay. Ms. Watts, do we add a week or do we need to go out 2? I don't know how the calendar's looking. Here's a prelim waiver for that one case.
Okay.
Do you need one too? Refilled my stack. Ms. Watts,
Yes, Judge.
what date for, in a week or 2 can we get for position 5, Mr. Sorto Castellanos? Okay.
You can do June 27th at 1 p.m.
June 27th, 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, so position 5 will be reset till then. She's waiving the prelim on position 3. And that bond is still $6,000 once you drop the gang charges
Yes.
on that one. Okay. So position 3 still has that $6,000 bond. The ADA is going to file a dismissal on the gang charges, and the other one will be basically $10,000 good bond. Consent, Ms. Miller. Bond, 1,000 on each count. It'll be reset until June 27th at 1 p.m. All the same conditions will apply, sir. They're on your $224,000 bond. Best of luck to you, sir.
You said June 27th?
Right, at 1 p.m. And then we can bring out, I guess, there's Ashley Johnson.
Okay.
I think you got my other Ashley Johnson paper. Can I see that?
Yeah, I do. I talked to him.
Okay, you talked with him? I told him you were being very kind today.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. One of those is gonna follow you around.
Each search warrant leads to 3 more search warrants. And then
Yeah. So we can bring out Ashley Johnson, because we've got both lawyers on Zoom. Are you both, are y'all waiving the prelim also, or? Mr. Roberts, I didn't know if y'all were waiving, or are we resetting the prelim? What are we doing?
The one that was just reset is for a position where Mr. Donovan just reset is for a position 5, and Ms. Johnson is on that case as well. I would just want to confirm with her that she wants to waive the hearing. If
I mean, she doesn't have to. He just waived on some financial transaction stuff.
right, I only have one of the 2 cases. She has.
Okay, yeah.
And the one that was reset for the 27th is the one that I have with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this one would be reset to the 27th.
Well, I think, but I'd also spoken with Ms. Roberts about, she's positioned differently because she doesn't have a bunch of different holds.
Right.
So if I've consented to a lower bond to get her out, and I've spoken with both defense attorneys to live with her parents in Tennessee. And so.
I just want to explain that to her on the record. I did understand the DAs, if I can just make sure that she understands that.
All right. Okay. So this is, so you got 2 cases, Ms. Johnson. All right. We will start with position 4, 22 CP 209534. Ashley Johnson, 377 days without indictment. There's a $295,000 good bond for trafficking in methamphetamines, possession of MDMA with intent to distribute, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, trafficking heroin, possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, possession of firearm during the commission of a felony, financial transaction, card theft, and BGCSA, possession of scheduled controlled substance in Schedule 1 or 2. Want to address that one first? Go ahead. What says the state?
Sure, Your Honor, the state has spoken with defense attorneys and agreed to reduce the bond on that to $1,000 on each count, with requirements of a ankle monitor, house arrest, with the address provided at her parents' house in Tennessee, and it would be
So the same conditions we had before?
right, same condition she had before. I guess she'd be allowed to. The exception would be seek medical treatment.
Okay.
And then I said, I spoke with the other defense attorney, not Ms. Roberts. I was just like, look, if she needs employment, reach out and we'll talk about a modification then. But for the time being.
So this is just medical?
Yeah.
Okay. Court, lawyer, or medical, period, right? If she has to show up for court.
Oh, obviously, yeah, court.
All right. Ms. Roberts, do you want to go first and explain to her, and then I'll just.
All right. Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Ms. Johnson, we have negotiated a consent bond with the state. We would be waiving your preliminary hearing today, and then would be proceeding with your bond being lowered to a total of $8,000 on the case that I have with you. He did explain that you would need to be on ankle monitor. I spoke to your parents last night. They are agreeable to that as well, and no contact with the co-defendants. on that case. So if you want to agree to waive the preliminary hearing, which my understanding, they can't have today anyway because the officer is on leave. He won't be back. That case is reset to the 27th. So if you are agreeable, then we can just lower your bond amount to 8,000 and you would just waive today's hearing.
That's just on this case. You have to answer audibly. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
What's the second case?
Well, we'll get to that in just one second.
Okay.
All right. So on this one, we'll do, this is a consent, Madam Clerk, between the DA and Ms. Roberts. So it's $1,000 on each count. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 5793 Roswell Road and 5690 Roswell Road. No further contact your co-defendants. Mr. Sorto Castellanos. Well, there's more of them though, right? Mr. Sorto Castellanos, Jeremiah, Jerrymiah, last name Kurniawan. Yeah. Is that it?
Donovan Sorto
Oh, yeah.
Castellano.
Let's see, Hector Diaz, Hector Diaz, and then, yeah, it's the Donovan Sorto Castellanos.
And
So
then,
no further contact with them. Ankle monitor is going to be paid for by the county. You're to stay out of the state of Georgia and Fulton County unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. Absolutely no reason for you to cross that state line or that county line, okay? You can only leave court, lawyer, medical, period. If there's any other reason that you want to leave, you're going to have to go through your lawyer who'll get in touch with the state and they can work out some sort of modification of that bond, okay? And so, Ms. Roberts, are you going to email us a waiver of prelim on that?
I will do that, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, and send that to the COS. Which say, DM, which that one. What was it? COS DM?
COSMC.
There you go, MC.
Motions entries at fultoncountyga.gov.
Okay.
and Your Honor, there's one other co-defendant who's just not on the calendar, and
who is
it's Andrew, common spelling, Wells.
Oh, and no further contact with Andrew Wells, Ms. Miller. All right, and the other, and thank you, Ms. Roberts.
I just want to, if I can hear what happens on the next case, is that okay?
Well, it was going to be a secret, but yeah, you can hear it. Yeah, you can. All right. Now your other case, ma'am, is position 22 CP 208589, Ashley Johnson, 377 days without indictment, got financial transaction card fraud, identity theft when using, possessing, identifying info concerning a person, unlawful for a person employed by or associated with a criminal street gang or participate in criminal street gang activity, unlawful for a person to acquire, maintain through criminal gang activity, proceeds derived from, or unlawful for a person to commit an offense with intent to earn membership, maintain, or increase status, and theft by possession of stolen mail. What says the state on this?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's going to dismiss all of the gang charges on that. I think she should, if that's spoken with the defense attorney, I think she should be able to make bond after that with the same conditions as the other case.
Yeah, let's see. So that one should be.
I believe it's 10,500, Your Honor.
Yeah, so that'll go down to $10,500, and that's also going to be a consent, Ms. Miller. So that'll be same, no further contact with all those same co-defendants that I just mentioned: Andrew Wells, Donovan Sorto Castellanos, Johnson, Hector Diaz, Jeremiah Kurniawan. And also no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. You can have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical only. If you want it modified, you have to get in touch with your lawyers and have that modified. Also, stay out of Fulton County, stay out of the state of Georgia unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. No further contact with, and these are all the previous conditions: Dave G. Lord, Nathan Wysong. Ms. Miller, it's on my former bond order of 9/9/2022. Carrie Crawford, Gabrielle Johnson, Tony Leandre, Destiny Tate, Renee Diane, Gilliam Pickett, Yolanda Wire Morales, Rule Delegado, Cabrera, Samuel Boatmalt, Charles Daniels, Carolyn Griggs, Summer Allison, Paul Burke, Fernando Gutierrez, Michael Ali, ALLI, Joel Sauer, Jerry Hopping, anyone from Amos Realty LLC. No further contact with all those co-defendants, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay out of Sandy Springs and Dunwoody, which is in Fulton County, which is also in Georgia, so it shouldn't be a problem. All those bond conditions, and also you're going to be living in Tennessee at your mom's address. Are we waiving the prelim on this, or are we resetting it?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll be speaking with Ms. Johnson, but yes, that'll be the same, basically the same announcement as her prior case.
So, but you haven't spoke to him about waiving the prelim, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So what date would you like it reset to? We got to give it a date.
I thought the prelim was being waived.
It froze. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he said he thought the prelim was being waived.
Yes, Your Honor. I sent in the waiver. So I did send in a waiver, but
Oh,
that's
so
with
you
the
are waiving the
email.
prelim, but we just
Yes, Your
don't
Honor.
have it yet, right?
Yes, Your Honor. So I can send it again. I got a different email from the COS. It was a COS email I had, but this one's COSMC. So I'm gonna just send it to this one today.
Okay, yep. All right, so both prelims are waived, ma'am. So best of luck to you. Thank you. Thank y'all both.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, there's a court again at 5, right, for bonds?
Yes, sir.
Then I'll see you then.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All
thank
right,
you.
Jeremiah Kernawan, is that how you say it? Kernawan, yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Can I hold for 1 second?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I mean, because sometimes I don't know. So I'm there, I'm there. Yeah. Oh, you know, I'm not. I'm not that full of myself. Sometimes I do it remotely.
Oh, no, that's right.
All right. Okay, so now can the officer, APD officer leave? You want him to stay here in case it still goes bad?
I want to, which officer?
Right, yeah.
Oh, Needham? Yeah, we're still, this case file is still transferring on my computer as we speak. It's massive.
Okay. All right.
I want to, just in case someone else.
Right.
waivers.
All right, this one is position 6. This one also will be a consent. Ms. Miller, this is 22 CP 211477, 304 days without indictment. I got deposit account fraud, $1,500 more. Forgery in the 3rd degree, $1,500 more. Financial identity fraud. Unlawful foreign person employed by, associated with criminal street gang to participate in criminal street gang activity. Unlawful for a person to acquire, maintain through criminal gang activity proceeds derived from. Unlawful for a person to commit offenses with intent to obtain, earn membership, maintain, or increase status. What says the state?
Your Honor, the state's going to be dismissing the gang charges and consenting to a $1,000 bond on each. Well, I think total $3,000. It'd be $1,000 on each count. Ankle monitor. It would be no contact with any of the co-defendants. No.
A standard.
Yes.
No drugs, no alcohol. Where's he gonna live, Ms. Rondon?
Your Honor, 1 second. I have your address. Sorry. The address is 4867 Ashford Dunwoody Road, apartment 12,007 in Atlanta.
Is that Fulton County?
Sounds like it's more like probably DeKalb.
It's DeKalb County?
You live in DeKalb County, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. All right, go ahead, Ms. Rondon. What do you have to say?
We will consent to that $3,000 bond with all the conditions that are standard, and we'll be waiving the preliminary hearing this morning. I have the paperwork signed and filled out.
Okay, so it's $1,000 per count. So that's deposit account fraud, forgery in 3rd degree, financial identity fraud, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no further contact with, once again, Ms. Miller, it's on my 9/9/2022, all the victims, alleged victims' names. No further contact with Dave G. Lord, Nathan Wysong, Kenny Crawford, Gabrielle Johnson, Tony Leandre, Destiny Tate, Renee Diane Gilliam Pickett, Yolanda Aguirre Morales, Paul Delgado Cabrera, Samuel Beaumont, Charles Daniels, Carolyn Griggs, Summer Allison, Paul Burke, Hernando Gutierrez, Michael T. Alli, Joel Sauer, Jerry Hopping, Amos Realty LLC. No further contact with Ashley Johnson, Hector Diaz, Alejandra Delgado, Andrew Wells. Forgetting one. Ashley Johnson, did I say that one already? Wait, who did I forget? Oh, Donovan Sorto Castellanos. No further contact with any of those. You're gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical. Is that it only, or you want me to let him for employment?
Does he have a job?
Not at this moment.
Do we put it on there if he gets a job?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right, court, lawyer, medical, and employment, sir, as long as you provide proof of employment, name of employer, schedule, and the exact location you'll be working. I like to tell people that doesn't mean you get a job, quit it, and then act like you're going to work, okay? Because the state does get copies of all the travel that you're doing. You're gonna have that ankle monitor, and you're gonna stay out of Fulton County unless you're here for court or to see your lawyer. Don't get gas. Don't stop getting anything to eat if you come. Straight to the courthouse, see your lawyer, straight to court, and leave. Do not hang out in Fulton County. $1,000 consent on each count, and that ankle monitor will be paid for by the county. Best of luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach with?
Yes, ma'am. And that prelim's waived, and I've got those, Madam Clerk.
Really? Hold on one second. What's
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I don't want to set this up for failure off the rip.
Yeah.
Yes, so that address they were evicted from because people kept overdosing there. That was his baby mama mayor's former apartment.
When did that eviction go?
That went through.
Okay.
I guess we can get ready for Cassius Williams. That's the last one.
That address is not valid. So
Whenever.
This is just when that, before he came here, mainly with all his stuff.
And Judge, do we ever get an attorney on position 10?
Mr. Olaf is on all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Begrudgingly, but that's the only one we have an officer here for, isn't it?
Yep. I just put in a text message to his policy.
Ankle monitor and then you violate it. They're very unique. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, yeah, just Cassius. That's it. I think, yeah, he's the last one, so that's it. Yeah, you can bring him one out.
We have a potential issue. That address that he said would be his residence is not valid. It is the address of his girlfriend, and that they were evicted from that address.
Oh, so he didn't have an address?
Yeah, and I'm not, he must not be aware of the eviction. So, but no, that is not valid. We're gonna have to find another valid address for it.
Can you find one outside of Fulton County?
I will try.
It's cheap. If he can find one, then, so Ms. Miller, the address he's got, they've been evicted, and I guess he didn't know it. So he's just gonna find another place to live outside of Fulton County. He has to supply the address to get released. Got it. Thank you. Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's right.
Second sheet.
Be done.
And Your Honor, that concludes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. See you shortly.
All right, see you at 5.
Yeah, thank you. See you shortly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Stay safe out there. You too.
Coming down.
Yeah, try to be here, so. Yeah, just, it's weird with those.
All right, so come on up, Detective.
Exactly.
I'm Brian.
All right, so let's see, on position, not. All right, let's see, so start with, there's 3 cases. There's position 8, which is 23 CP 217405, 73 days without indictment. You got ag assault, possession of firearm or knife during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, false imprisonment, possession of cocaine, battery, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Now, what says the state on that one?
Judge, right now the state would ask for a reset just to get an officer here. I'm not sure why he's not here.
And this is the first time, obviously, it's been in 73 days. This one's been on, Mr. Olaf, on position 8.
We would not object to a one-time reset, Your Honor, but we would ask that it's a one-time reset only.
All right, so we got one-time reset. Ms. Watts, I'm sure we're probably.
And can we get these on the same day as the other?
Was that the 20th?
20th.
I think that's a good idea.
June 20th. Yeah, can you reset this one to June 20th with the other one?
Which case is
Position
Judge
9.
Manning? Cassius?
Yeah, for position 8.
Okay.
So June 20th at 1 p.m. And position 8, 23 CP 217490, 73 days. Aggravated assault and possession of firearm or knife during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies. That's also reset, sir, till June 20th at 1 p.m. Now, the last case here we're here for is 23 CP 217603, 73 days without indictment, battery, family violence, first offense. Raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, go ahead. What says the state?
Thank you, Judge. Detective, could you give us your name for the record, please?
Sure. My name is, my title is Detective. My name is Muata Onyemachi. That's spelled M-U-A-T-A. Last name is spelled O-N-Y-E-M-A-C-H-I.
And how are you currently employed?
I'm a detective with the Atlanta Police Department Domestic Violence Unit.
How long have you been there?
I've been on the police department. This is my 16th year. I've been a detective for 8 years.
Are you post-certified?
I am.
Okay. And were you working on March 9th of 2023?
I was working. I wasn't a responding officer.
Okay. And let me ask you this. Did you have cause to investigate someone named Cassius Williams?
I did.
Okay. What were the circumstances behind that investigation?
Basically, the responding officer, Officer Branton, he did the initial report. He had to respond to 355 Peachtree Street in regards to an injured person as a result of a fight call. Upon his arrival, he met with the victim, who was Lisa Riley, last name spelled R-I-L-E-Y, and he had encountered 2 witnesses as well. It was Tamika Walker and a Miss Rosalind Edwards. Basically, once he encountered them, they all advised that Miss Riley was attacked by a person who was named, who had a nickname by the name of CJ, later to discover that person's name was Cassius Williams. Basically, what happened, it was an altercation that took place. Mr. Williams was staying with Miss Riley's in her apartment for a number of days. She got to a point where she no longer wanted him to stay there. As a result of that, they got in an argument. A physical altercation took place where it was stated that Mr. Williams attacked Miss Riley by basically punching her and kicking her. As a result of the attack, she fell and struck her head. I received the case afterwards, basically because the person who was responsible for this attack was not on scene when the officer arrived. That's Cassius Williams. Based on my investigation, I was initially contacted by one of my coworkers, Detective Mustafa. He works the aggravated assault unit, and he advised me that he has a case that's related to my case. His case basically dealt with the perpetrator or the suspect in my case. Mr. Cassius Williams was accused of actually shooting at a security guard. To piggyback on my story that took place with Miss Riley being attacked, apparently the security guard at the facility intervened. And as a result of that, Mr. Williams was upset and then Basically, it was retaliation. Detective Mustafa interviewed my victim, Ms. Riley. She detailed exactly what happened. She stated the same thing to the responding officer, although she did state that she hurt her head as a result of falling from being attacked. I then spoke with Ms. Riley. She confirmed that statement as well. I spoke with the witness also, Ms. Walker. They all basically confirmed those statements. Based upon that information, I was compelled to do arrest warrants.
And did that happen in Fulton County?
It did happen in Fulton County.
And Detective, what were the warrants for specifically?
It was just a battery charge that I did a warrant for.
Okay, did you do that under a family violence statute, or did you do that under the normal battery statute?
That was, you mind if I refer to my notes?
Go ahead.
It was family violence.
And the reason that you did family violence was what exactly?
Based upon him being Cassius Williams living at Miss Riley's residence for a period of time.
Okay, nothing further, Judge.
All right, Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Detective. My name is Brian Olive. I represent Mr. Williams here. You said that Mr. Williams lived with Miss Riley. What address was that? Do you remember?
Address is actually 355 Peachtree Street. In one of the apartments, the apartment is, I have to, give me just a moment. I believe that apartment is listed as 201.
All right, thank you. And you know how long they lived together?
I'm sorry, re-advise.
Do you know how long they lived together?
As far as I recall, it was just a couple of days.
He stayed there a couple of days?
Yes.
So did he ever establish residency there?
Based on the fact that the witnesses stated that he lived there, as well as Ms. Riley for a couple of days, it was, as far as I know, it was established. I'm not certain of any mail or anything being received there.
All right, thank you. No further questions.
Anything else from the state?
Just a quick redirect. And to your knowledge, Detective, did Mr. Williams have any other residences at the time?
That I didn't find out. However, I didn't mention the fact that during my interview and with Ms. Riley, I was not clear as to what was her relationship with Mr. Williams. And being that I work in the domestic violence unit, I wanted to establish what is the nature of their relationship as far as them living together, because I wasn't really clear on that. Based on that interview with Ms. Riley, she basically stated that CJ, or Cassius Williams, basically his position at that apartment complex, he apparently was a person that was a part of a drug ring. They were selling drugs on the property, and she felt like he basically bullied her into living at her apartment with his girlfriend. Her name was listed as Kiki. And after time went on, as far as them staying there, again, Miss Riley, she basically, she was in fear at first, but she eventually spoke up, and that led to her being attacked.
Gotcha. And Detective, just to, I guess, in your training and experiences, does that mean that they would live there sometimes and then leave and then come back, or how does that work?
As far as
like staying there or
living? They would live there. They set up residence in a sense to the point where Miss Riley felt that they were imposing and living with her.
Did they have clothes at the apartment that you know of?
I'm not certain.
Okay. And did did they have a place where they slept, or did you see anything in particular?
Nothing that my investigation led to finding out, other than what was stated by Miss Riley.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, Mr. Early?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, this officer's done. Thank you. That's what the detective,
All right, thank you.
they say. Go ahead with argument.
We're not there yet. Is that me, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. While we understand that the bar for probable cause is very low, we would submit to the battery charge. However, the FEA tag, I don't believe that the state was able to establish that they were actually living there at the residence. The witness testified that my client had a girlfriend, so there was no romantic relationship with Miss Riley, the alleged victim. My client was with another woman, and they stayed there for a couple of days. Again, I would submit to the battery charge, but I would argue that the FEA tag should be dismissed. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. In this case, Judge, I believe the statute only requires that they live together between household member. Exactly what the term household member means could be open to debate. Now, whether or not we don't know whether or not Mr. Clay's girlfriend was related to one of the other victims, how exactly they came to be there, but I do believe that it would come to the at least fall under the living together statute, since I think that they were there for enough of a time to establish that they were in fact part of that quote family. Sounds like they were part of that family by force. So that's what I would submit to the
All right.
court.
So I'll find probable cause after, well, it's now 16,000 TPOs. I think I've got the whole living together down to a science. All right, let's be heard on bond. Bostic.
In regards to this defendant, he has 7 prior arrests. Conviction is a 2018 battery, family violence, 2 counts. Open case 22 SC 18359, 3 aggravated battery, firearm during firearm by, signed to Judge Ingram. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. All.
One moment, Judge, I'm sorry. What apartment? Okay, got it. All right, Your Honor. Mr. Williams is 24 years old. He's a lifelong resident of Georgia. His entire family lives here. If he were released, he would be staying at 355 Peachtree Street. That's the hotel. And he is not currently employed, but he would be seeking employment should he be released. We would just ask for a reasonable amount of bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
So 355 is where this happened, and it says where they live. So got somewhere else.
So 148 Pine Street. What's that, Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that Fulton?
Yes, sir.
All right. And who lives there?
It's, that's where I get my mail.
Okay.
Across roads. Program.
Okay. Be 148 Pine Street. It's Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sorry, 140 Pine Street. That's Atlanta, Georgia. And that would be like a transitional residence.
Okay. All right, what says the state?
Thank you, Judge. Well, the state would oppose a bond for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams clearly has a lengthy criminal history. For only being 24 is a danger to the community and clear to the people at 355 Peachtree. We believe that he is a substantial danger to the witnesses, is going to intimidate them, and is going to threaten them. So the state would ask for no bond, and in the alternative, we would ask the court to set a bond of $100,000, no contact with the victim, and do not return to 355 Peachtree.
right, let's see. Let me get that calendar. Let's see. All right, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. No further contact with Lisa Riley, Rosalind Edwards, Tamika Walker. Stay away from the I think I said today with 355 Peachtree Street. You're gonna have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment, as long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment schedule in the exact location you're going to be working. And you also, sir, if 140 Pine Street is just temporary housing, you're gonna have to keep your address updated. Let's see, 73. And this bond will actually be into effect if you're not indicted by July the 7th. So it'll be no bond until July 7th. If they indict you, then it'll stay at no bond, and the judge that gets assigned the case post indictment will set your bond. But if it's not indicted by July 7th, you will have a $35,000 good bond. Best of luck to you, sir. And see the other cases on, what I say, June 20th.
Correct, Judge.
And I think that should be it, right?
Yes, ma'am, I believe so. May we be excused, Judge?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You. Sorry, I had to pinch it today, but.
That's okay.
You don't get indicted by July 7th.
Thank you, Bostic. You did a good job.
I tried my best.
All right, Ms. Miller, I will sign them, and if I leave to head home to catch the other ones, I will sign them as soon as I get there.
No problem, Judge.
Thank you.
Have
All
a good
right,
day.
I'll see y'all shortly.
Any other questions?